Welcome, guys, to episode 11 of the Watchlist podcast. This week, we're talking about the new Michael Jackson movie, which just came out in theaters this past weekend. Me and
Hee.
Luke both found us in the theaters on the same day, so we both watched it on Saturday. And
Yeah.
yeah, so we're going to dive into our opinions of it. Let us know what you guys think in the comments of the movie if you've seen it. Um, I think it's pretty obvious. I think we should start off. Do we like Michael Jackson? I think
Oh,
Michael
okay. Yeah,
Jackson
yeah.
is.
Yeah. That's actually a good thing to start off because I I have a weird relationship with Michael Jackson where like I like him and I like his music, but I don't really listen to pop music just generally. I never was into pop music, so I've never like listened to Michael Jackson's music on my own time, where I could say I'm a
Yeah.
fan. But like whenever it's very popular, it's on all the time, and so I really enjoy it, when it's on. But I have no really like personal connection to it.
Yeah. I was kind of raised on Michael Jackson. Um, my family used to play Michael Jackson all the time. My biggest entry point was when I was younger, watching the Weird Al Yankovic parody videos that he would make. So like for Beat It, he made Eat It, and then for
Mm,
Bad, he made Fat or whatever. So those music videos like got me into like the parody of it all because my dad was super into the comedy of Weird Al. And then yeah, I just started getting into Michael Jackson. I listened to him a lot like in middle school. I haven't like listened to him much like in the last 6 years, but this movie definitely like put me back on
yeah, I
him.
think it's
Like
putting
I'm listening
everyone
to a lot
on.
of my.
His
I
Spotify
think I'm.
stats are booming.
Yeah, yeah. I was listening to Michael Jackson on the way home right after.
Yeah,
I was like,
same.
this is
I
I
mean,
can't
I
I
definitely
can't
did
get
that
over it.
too.
It's his music is
Yeah.
so good. He's such a good singer. Obviously, I saw a cool comment about the movie where it's like, if you have ears, you like Michael Jackson, and I think that's a total great statement because what a performer, what a statement, and like him as an actual performer is really cool too. You
Yeah.
see that a lot in the movie, which is basically
A
what the
lot.
movie is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of performance in the
Yeah.
movie.
There's a lot of Michael Jackson songs in the movie. Um and so I think, people are going to enjoy it simply because of that, right? Like I think and and I actually kind of that's one of my biggest issues with the movie, um is kind of playing off that. But um yeah, I don't know. It's a hard movie to tackle because there's like it's strange. It's very strange, but
Yeah, it's by the same producer as Bohemian Rhapsody.
yeah, definitely.
And I
You
hate
feel it.
Bohemian Rhapsody. I hate Bohemian Rhapsody like with a passion. Um, I think there's something a little different here with this one. I don't know what it is. I think it's like I think we have to start with Jafar Jackson here.
Sure.
As an actor. This is his first role ever.
Yeah.
When I got home, I actually watched like a bunch of videos of like how he got involved and stuff. He had to do like a two year process of like learning all the dance moves, learning how to sing and talk like Michael Jackson before he even like knew he had the role. Um, but I think he does great. Personally, I think he does a really good job. Um, I think it's a performance Michael would be proud of because he does so well imitating like his moves. I think the best thing that Antoine does here is like making it almost exactly like certain Michael moments. Like you think of the Thriller music video, they do that almost to a T, and then they do the Motown performance almost to a
Yes.
T.
So
Um,
I agree, and I think Jafar is really good. Like as a, it's like it's weird, it's strange because it's a good performance, and he's like doing like it I think he captures. I think it's the best performance you could possibly do in this movie. Now, I think there's a lot of like flaws with the way Michael's character is like written, and like it's just incredibly uninteresting for such an interesting person. But and so like when you don't have a lot of go off with the script, he's kind of just tied to going off of Michael Jackson in the context of like the world, right, outside of the film and like the myth that he is. And I think he achieves that. But like I think a big part, like what you said, is like the best parts of the movie are when they're like, recreating the Thriller or like the Motown performance, right? That I agree. And I think that is so sad because it's like the best thing in this movie is something that's already done. Like they're just they're mimicking just something that's already done, and then that to me just feels like it's and it's a thing where like I think going into this movie, I think it was just like I instantly knew is like every Michael Jackson fan is kind of just gonna accept whatever quality this is gonna be because they're gonna play Michael Jackson songs and then they're gonna come out of it enjoying it. But it's a sad thing because I think that Michael Jackson fans and even Michael Jackson, who controversial as he is, like he was a good artist and deserves like better art to be made about him. And it's kind of like it's just slop. This movie is just slop, and it's kind of the same way I feel about Wicked, right? Which is just kind of a separate kind of thing, but it's like those movies have like such a strong fandom, and especially for like Ariana Grande or whatever, and they're technically horrible. Like I don't think anyone with a straight mind could like really believes that those movies look good, but you're just gonna kind of accept that at the end of the day because it's Ariana Grande
Yeah.
and Cynthia Erivo and they're singing and it's whatever. That's kind of how I feel about this movie, where really there's really nothing impressive to be said, except I mean it is like he's recreating the Thriller moves, and that's very impressive and it looks uncanny, right? But at the end of the day, like, is that what we want in a movie? Like, is that what we want? I don't.
Yeah, I think for sure. Like you, I was thinking of like looking at other biopics of like the ones that I like Malcolm X, right?
Okay.
That's something like that's something a little more interesting where it's like diving into
Mm,
more stuff, especially like people don't know a lot of Malcolm X's like backstory and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Whereas like Michael Jackson, I agree with you. Like this movie is slop, but I don't. It's one of the few moments I don't fucking care. To where I can actually like have a good time. You know, like I wasn't sitting in the theater. I wasn't sitting in the theater like clenching my
Were
like
you
jaw like
cringing at
hard like
all?
this.
Like I was cringing. Like it was like cringy
I didn't
biopic.
feel I didn't feel any cringe. I just
Oh,
like there's
really?
something about yeah, there's something
When he
about
goes, when he's just, this is the whole movie. Michael Jackson just going like, I just want to be on my own. I want to be my own man. It's my legacy. And
yeah,
then
yeah,
his father's just like, you can't do that. You got to be a part of the family. And he's like, no, I don't, can you go tell my dad I don't want to do it? How's that
yeah.
impression?
I didn't feel any cringe. Like I see in retrospect that those moments can be cringe. I guarantee you on a rewatch this movie's gonna be really
I was
a lot
thinking that
lower.
like at home. Imagine it at home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the theater and every single time a song was on, I was kicking my feet. Like it was a movie that I just like genuinely enjoyed, even though I knew I didn't think it looked good at all. First of all,
Yeah, it
like I
doesn't.
don't think it's directed well. I think, especially when you think about the director, right? Like Antoine Fuqua is someone who's made interesting movies before,
Yeah.
right?
He's not
He's
like the
gone
best
into slop.
director, but
No, he's gone into slop. Stuff with
oh,
he does a lot of stuff with um like Denzel, obviously. Like Denzel's his guy. But Training Day is a good example that he can make interesting compositions and shit and bring it. I think he brings out good performances. I think that's something he's good at. And Jafar
yeah.
Jackson's a great example because holy fuck, he really does great stuff. And watching like some interviews with him, he seems like a really solid guy. He's wanting to get into acting now. Like he was never interested in acting, and this experience has brought him into like wanting to do more acting.
Hmm.
And I think he would be someone really interesting to see in something like just like normal, like not a biopic of his uncle. Um,
I don't think
he's
he's
someone.
I don't know if he's gonna have a good acting career.
I don't think he'll have a good acting career, but I think it would still be interesting to see what he can do acting
Yeah,
wise
sure.
in other stuff.
I just feel like
And
it's
yeah,
hard to start with Michael Jackson. It's one of those things where it's like you're starting with Michael Jackson and that's your uncle, right? And it's like, where do you go from there? Are you just going to be in like a thriller? Like, no, like, what are you going to do?
yeah,
It's
I
a,
guarantee you he has so many DMs from agents to do certain movies. Like this is probably opening a lot of doors for him for like more slop, right?
sure,
Um,
sure.
just because he's a name,
But would he do
right?
that?
I don't know because
Cause he's
he
already,
seems very artistic.
right.
He seems he's a music producer, um, and he likes films and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's a good sign. But I don't know. I think what really set me off at the beginning with the movie was like the way it started. I didn't like the beginning of the film, like with the Jackson 5 stuff. That
Yeah.
stuff was like I didn't like that stuff.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And I hate all the I'll start with the things I hate because I will end up like defending the movie against Luke a lot more in this. Um, but the things I hated was like a lot of title cards of like the year and just like random shit. On the Jackson 5 stuff, I do think the kid sings really well.
Oh, he's
Like this,
incredible.
yeah,
That
the kid
kid.
sang
I mean,
really
it's. I
well as
think
well.
it's MJ's like younger vocals. Like I don't. I bet it's not fully him. I don't know.
Oh,
I. I
yeah,
I'm sure like some of it. But yeah. I mean, just I think that shows like yeah, like what you were saying, like Fuqua can get a good performance. I always think that really shows when you're directing like a kid because it's kind of a lot harder if they're a person that's not as they don't have experience. And that kid is great.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's good. I just don't like how that whole intro thing and some things are kind of left. A lot of things are left out of the picture that could have easily been
Right.
said.
So I mean
And
the important beats of like the beginning part Joe it's kind of I mean the movie's like pretty much uh only conflict is like Joe Jackson, Michael's father, kind of being very strict and abusive like holds a belt to Michael, all very strict on the movie starts. I hate this opening so much. It's like this movie's so this movie feels like it's made by AI, like biopic, but the movie starts with Michael like looking outside the window and it's like kids playing in the street and then his dad's like, get over here, we gotta work, let's go, we gotta work. And then it's just like this little boy looking all sad and it's like, okay, bro. I mean, this is kind of like my biggest. I'm sorry to go into like big things. It's just hard not to. But like every a movie sucks for me when every scene tells you everything that you were supposed to think, and there's no other way to kind of make it out, right? Like every scene in this movie, it is explaining to you exactly how you should feel and think. I don't think
yeah,
there's an exception. You could like in that scene, right? It's like, oh, you're supposed to feel bad for him because he wants to play with kids. It's just like very obvious. It's not the worst example of the movie doing this. You could do a million examples. Like it's like the kid, like even when he's singing like as a kid, he's in the booth and he's singing really well, and then everyone's like, wow, this kid's got some real talent. Wow, this kid's out of this world. It's like we've seen that scene a million times of like the art. No one believes in him. He goes in the booth and they're like, whoa, this is incredible. It
yeah.
Yeah.
There's also like no conflict with like him getting his like career underway. Like there's a scene where he's talking with agents and he's like, I want this album to be me and I
Right.
want it to show me and I want to do a biggest world tour and the producers at the studio are like, anything you want, Michael. Yeah, do it. You know?
Right. They love them. Which is it's like this weird like I mean this movie is made by the Jackson estate. It's important to mention. It's a
Yeah.
very kind of like
It's also important to mention that Janet Jackson wanted nothing to
yes.
do with it and she wanted like her out of it.
Yeah, because she was
Like
in the
she
movie
read,
and I like watched it and was like, fuck this. Or was that it? Or the script
she read the
maybe?
script. She read the
Script?
script and then
Okay.
she was like, I want nothing to do with this. Um and so she's not in it at all. But like
Yeah.
Jermaine Jafar's dad is like an executive
They're
producer.
all executive producers. I think like
They're
four
all
of them.
executive producers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is kind of like a repainting of Michael's legacy, and it's kind of working. Like from what
Hmm.
I'm seeing, is it's
Yeah.
working as like um, sort of like Michael propaganda. Whether that's good or bad, who's to say? But yeah, no, it definitely. I mean, Michael's whole character in this movie, it, he is really only like he really has no real flaw that he does, right?
He's
Like
painted as like a perfect person,
a
basically, like a
perfect,
god.
just like innocent being that all these bad things are happening to. And I think outside of the real guy, that is a terrible idea for your main character.
Yeah.
Right? The whole point is like people have flaws, and like nothing he does really um is like he's always on the right side. The movie's always, you're always supposed to be on his side. And that just left it like super boring for me, where even when the performances were like good and like should feel really magical to me, I'm just kind of like I'm bored, and I kind of don't care, especially when they happen like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what do you think about the makeup?
Well, so you know what's really funny when like the press like the when it was like coming out like before it even was like released, and they're talking about or they showed like the posters and like some like stills from it, and I saw like Michael with like the big nose. I was like,
Right.
oh shit, they're gonna keep this nose and do it or whatever.
Okay.
So I was like, I was glad that they showed the surgery and shit,
Yeah.
and then he kind of looked more like Michael.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
the surgery is one of the best moments, I think, just as like some like sort of interesting insight. Um, Even though like it's still pretty dumb, but like he's just kind of like, oh, I've got to be perfect, and like the guy's like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, you know, and then
you're a
him,
handsome boy, Michael. Um, yeah, she's like, you're a handsome boy, Michael, and he goes, I want to be the like my face isn't symmetrical, so I need it for
yeah,
the photos or something.
like
I think it's like a good insight of how particular Michael was on his career. Like he had a great vision for like everything he wanted, right? He
hmm
always thought about all the minute details, like the costumes. I saw a bunch of clips after of like they're talking about how Michael cared about his tie, the way it would fall on him after he spinned. So they would put a quarter in the tie to make it fall the right way. Like he's just like he's so particular about all these
yeah,
things,
yeah,
which is really interesting as an artist. A lot of people have other people to tell them what to do. But like he knows what he wants, he tells them how to do it and it gets done, basically. Um, so yeah, that's very interesting. The makeup, um, I think Coleman Domingo's makeup is funny.
it's bizarre. You know, yeah, I think it's really bad. My thing is like, you know, I'm always just kind of pro like, don't put any makeup on him and make him look stupid, and just call him Joe Jackson. Like
Yeah.
because I don't think it matters. Like we'll get over it as an audience. They don't need to look exactly like him. Like it's gonna be an actor playing him at the end of the day. Um, and it looks ridiculous, and I couldn't get my mind off of it. Although Joe Jackson does look kind of ridiculous in real life.
Yeah, he
So
does kind of look like his face is melting, anyways.
yeah,
But there's a moment towards the end of the film where Joe Jackson's like watching from the sideline, and like his smile, like, it almost looks like Coleman Domingo is like really uncomfortable in the makeup.
mm,
Almost, that's what it looks
interesting.
like to me. Like the way he's smiling, like he can't smile all the way, and he's like forcing a grin or whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's interesting stuff. Miles Teller was really funny. Like
Oh my god.
his drop in was like hilarious.
Yeah, terrible
Um,
performance. I
yeah,
think
I don't think
he's.
it's. I mean,
I don't
I
know
think
what
it's
he's
just like
doing.
a paycheck for him. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't.
right.
There's no. He's not even that big of a
Yeah,
character,
he's such a small
anyways.
character. I don't know. It's weird that he did the movie. I don't really understand it. It's a I mean, yeah, I heard like the guy he's playing is like a producer or like a producer on the movie or something, and he wanted like he made himself look really good. I don't know how true that is, but it kind of makes sense when like watching the movie. It's very strange his role. Like he's just like the guy kind of like there for him, and like
Making everything
he
happen.
makes himself look really good in the meeting, like when he's
Yeah.
introduced. Another like important character to talk about, I think, is it Bill, his bodyguard?
Yeah. Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, he's in like almost every scene, or a lot of scenes, as just even just like in the background or something. And it's such a strange, it's such a strange
I kind
movie.
of liked him. I kind of liked him.
It's like it's
I
just
think
a
Bill's like a cool.
I mean, he's supposed to be like the guy who's like the only one on Michael's side, right? He's Michael's like only kind of friend.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't know.
I think he's cool in certain moments where he's just like the level-headed, just like especially when Michael has an argument with his father,
Yeah,
you know, and then he like runs out and he's like, "We just need to go," and he's just like there for Michael. Um, Another interesting scene is like when and he's talking to his mom when they're eating ice cream, like earlier in the film, like Jackson 5. And he's talking about his friends and his friends, like he wants a llama.
yeah,
He goes, "He'll be my friend. He's not a pet or whatever." And then his mom's like, "Why don't you get like real friends?" And then Michael's like, "I'm just different. They all want my autograph and picture." I think that like to me that's like a little bit sad, not just
yeah,
in retrospect as like a person, just like you get this great thing, which I'm sure Michael was like glad he had, you know, because he was able to do a lot of stuff for other people. Like he was able to help uh kids. Like there's a great scene where he's talking like the berm thing. He gets all this money that they get sued and he gives it to the hospital or whatever.
yeah,
He's able to do those amazing things with his platform, but also like I guarantee like this is a thing for most like major celebrities like that. Like they're not able to connect with people and not have many friends. I think that's a really sad moment.
yeah.
And I do like his mother, how she's just like always combating.
I hate that character so much. I think it's the
Really?
my issue is like every single character in the movie is like the most one-dimensional character. The mom's whole role in the movie is to like when Joe Jackson does something like evil, she's just like there as like the passive wife to be like, uh, like don't do that or like stand up to him but not really, and then like just being like the mom for Michael, and she's like no interesting personality other than like she's like caring and there, like that is
Yeah,
absolutely it.
that's
There's
true.
no information about her, like absolutely none, and they just like they keep watching movies together. um yeah, it was like annoying every time like Joe Jackson did something bad, and then she's just there like stop it, don't do that, like you can't treat him
Yeah,
like or like there's one moment she stands up to him and it feels like they want the audience to like applause as she like walks away, but it doesn't feel like that. I don't know.
I do like how he loves Charlie Chaplin and shit. Like
Yeah,
that's like
that is
he's
cool.
like explaining to the kid. That was really
Oh
funny to
yeah,
me.
do
He's
you
like,
know
"Aren't
Charlie
you a kid?"
Chaplin? He's like,
And he goes,
yeah.
"Yeah," and he goes, "No, you don't,
Yeah.
kid. No, you
Oh,
don't."
he
He's really
also
great though.
I thought of you because he mentions his mom leaves during modern times, and he's like, the end's the best part, you
Yeah,
can't miss it.
yeah,
So
yeah. When that happened, I was like, "Oh, that is the
yeah.
best part, Michael. That's great. That's the best part of
Who
any movie
knows?
ever."
Yeah,
Um, Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I do have a lot of the same opinions of you in retrospect. I just like, I kind of, again, I came into this movie with like literally Bohemian Rhapsody expectations, so I was going into it like, oh, this is gonna be a half star or a 1 star. And then you just kind of just get swept up in the music of it all, and I just like, I couldn't deny that I was having a good time at least.
yeah, sure.
Like I couldn't deny I was smiling and I love like I think I honestly I think Michael Jackson's aura just like
Just went through the
swayed my
screen.
opinion of this movie because like dude he has so much fucking aura.
Yeah.
And I like the reenactments of like his performances and then like the woman fainting, like that shit's real. um if people don't know that, I think a lot of people know that that shit actually happened,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
this
Like
was something else I thought because I actually don't know a lot about Michael Jackson. Like, I wouldn't say I know a lot. And I left the movie knowing the exact same amount of information. Like, I knew he had a monkey bubbles. I knew Joe Jackson was like mean and abusive. I knew like he was in the Jackson 5. Like, I knew I like like all these things. Like, I the only new thing I didn't know was that he burned his, like, when he the scene he's performing and he gets
yeah,
burned.
like he
I
almost
just didn't
died.
know that. um
Yeah.
and that seems so ridiculous. It's like so I realized that was very serious, but in the moment, because I just like didn't know what it was, and he just like, it's like really bad CGI, like fire on his head. And then it's
Just
like
keeps dancing.
yeah, he keeps dancing, and then it's like it's like he goes down, and it's like, oh my god. And the movie's acting like he was about to die, and I'm like, I don't know, he just caught fire, and then they put it out pretty quickly. And then like it's like blurry, and it's flashing, and it's like super slow, and it's like there's like intense music. And then the ambulance comes in, and I'm like, really? I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's
Yeah.
just because I didn't know it really happened, and I realized that like caused severe like nerve damage and like whatever. But it just seemed like
Yeah.
really over the top, which is kind of to expect with these biopics. Like a lot of them just have like kind of over the top, scenes or performances or stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I really didn't come away from it learning anything new, which kind of sucks. Is at least what I want to get is some like new insight on,
Yeah.
they didn't even show enough of like, I always think it's interesting learning kind of like what inspired them to make this song, right? These famous songs. I think they only do it with is it Beat It? I don't know.
Yeah, where the like the gang
Yeah.
brutality between the Crips. And I actually
Yes.
like that scene when he like goes into that basement
Dude,
and he like
it's a
is like dancing with the people.
ridiculous scene.
I kind of liked it though because it's like I kind of like the dynamics of these guys in poverty, and they have a completely different lifestyle than Jackson, right?
No, yeah.
And then he kind of walks in and they're like, "Yo, what the fuck? That's Michael Jackson." And then there's also that like funny moment where like one of them asks for his autograph,
Right.
and they're all like, "All right, bro, you're fucking lame." Like, nah, bro, nah, bro. And then they do the whole dance sequence. I do think the choreography is great, obviously, because the choreographer for this movie was literally Michael Jackson's choreographer in real life. And it's also really cool that Jafar, when he was training the choreography with Michael Jackson's actual choreographers, they trained in the actual room that Michael Jackson trained in.
That's
And it's
cool.
like, I guarantee you this is so surreal for Jafar to be like doing this stuff where where his uncle was, like in the same room with the same choreographers.
Yeah.
Holy, that must have been so crazy to me. And like again, I do agree. Like, I think the script is horrible. I think the way that they probably did the script was like found big moments in like the public eye in Michael Jackson's career, and it was like, okay, let's make that. And they're like, oh wait, the runtime's almost over already. What do we fill it up with? Just like a random
Yeah.
shit.
It definitely
I think
feels
that's
like
how the script probably went.
it feels like, and this is kind of known, but it's heavily edited. Like, I think you can tell. Like, there was like some type of like, there, I mean, they like knowingly kind of cut out more of like the, like, pedophilia stuff in the movie. Like, that was, they like reshot the like moments, and they had to.
Yeah, they changed the date of it, so that's why I'm really interested on what the second
Right.
half is, because the second half is going to deal with more, like that's the part of his life that actually deals with it,
I'm so
right?
curious. I mean, I just don't think, I'm really curious about it. I think like it's so, this movie clearly builds it up. Like, I think they're building up kind of like this like very clear, like, it's not Michael's innocent kind of thing. Um and just kind of like you can tell he just like really has a strong connection with like children. They cut to the Peter Pan book like 20 times in this.
Yeah, that he loves Peter
Like
Pan,
he
and I'm like,
like
I love Peter
it was
Pan.
literally like the first time it happens, it's the Peter Pan book, and then it's like a circle of Captain Hook and titled it Joe, and then he labeled it Joe Jackson. And it's like, can we be so for real right now? Like this shit is so stupid, bro. And it's just cutting to Peter Pan. And he's just like a little kid who loves like Disney, and he's like going to these kids, you know, in the hospital and talking to them, and you know, you can tell he like just like he's like, oh, I want to play. Hey guys, you want to play Twister? And they're like, no, dude. And then
That made me really sad though.
it is a sad. He plays with the monkey, Bubbles. What did you think about Bubbles? I didn't care for him, but I'm seeing people love him.
So I actually hate him.
Like in real
Because
life.
no, 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 no.
Oh,
The fucking in the movie,
okay.
like as soon as he came out, I was like, holy fuck, we're gonna do this CGI shit. We're
Yeah.
gonna do this fucking shit, and it's like really annoying. And then I can like clearly see the fucking like the guy who like takes Bubbles out of the cage or out of the back of the truck or whatever, and I could see like the actor like reaching really far down, and he's like kind of walking. I'm like, I just like I'm just obviously there's nothing there,
Oh
right?
yeah,
And you just
that's
gotta
funny.
know that,
There's
and
also a
this just made me
yeah.
like, okay, bro.
Yeah, I had so there's a moment where Bubbles like looks at his off the wall album and he's just like points at it and he's like, "Yeah, that's me, Bubbles." I'm like, "Bubbles did not do that shit. Can we be for real?" Like this movie's ridiculous, bro. It's like a
It's
stupid
really
looking CGI monkey. Um I mean that monkey's probably
I
very
mean, he's
smart.
cute. He's cute. Like it's kind of cool that Michael. It's kind of cool that Michael had a fucking monkey and a giraffe and a
No, yeah.
llama. Like it's
I
cool that
wish
he
there
had
was
that.
more of Bubbles. I will say. Like I didn't care for him just because I think there wasn't enough of him. Like I
Hmm.
think it could have been something, but I don't think this
Yeah,
movie's
I just don't like him because of the CGI shit. But obviously, like,
yeah, it
there's
doesn't
a
look
little
very
more
good,
work that has to
but
go on
whatever.
in.
It's not like the biggest
I mean, it
deal.
just feels weird, and like it feels weird in like the context of like this biopic where everything's live action. Then you have like this CGI, these CGI animals. Um,
Yeah.
I do think it's like I do think it's cool that he basically like had a zoo at his house. He
Yeah.
basically owned that motherfucking house.
Yeah.
Like he lived with his
Yeah,
parents
that
and
was
kids, so like
strange.
he could do whatever the fuck he wants. Oh, giraffe. Oh, monkey. Oh, all this stuff. Like it's his house at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean it's his money
Um,
or you know, he earned the money. I was always like, damn, why is he still living with his dad?
no, they even like Bill even is like you should just move out, right? And he goes,
Right.
I'm not ready for that. I'm like, why? Why
Yeah.
aren't you ready for that? Like it seems like you're pretty like no like who in your family are you like attached with? Like your brothers won't play Twister with you, and
His mom is the only
like
one,
your
right?
brother won't play Twister with you. Your mom is doing who the fuck knows, and your dad's always yelling at you. And really, man, I hate his dad. His dad is such an
Yeah, I
asshole.
mean,
Like I
the
fucking hate his
brothers are
character.
supportive though, right? Like there's like barely any kind of information
Yeah,
about the
they
brothers.
don't defend him though because they're so scared of their father as
Right.
well. You know,
Okay.
like it's also like the the idea of there's a scene towards the like in the very end. This is why I like Bill because Bill just like I think he understands Joe Jackson is like not a good father, right? Like he's just trying. He's like a money grabber. And then there's like a scene at the end right before like the Dodger Stadium performance with Human Nature, which again, Human Nature, what a fucking song.
Yeah, great song.
The the he's like talking to these guys and he's like, "Oh, this is just the beginning. We're going to do a world tour next. We're going to go to every place you can name." And you can kind of see Bill's always in the background, right? He's the
Yeah, yeah.
security guard. And he's just like kind of glancing over like,
But that's what I mean is
"Oh,
like
hell
it's
no."
so obvious in the way that like Bill is just like every like the scenes are constructed in a way where like the audience is told what to think very very clearly. Where Bill
Yeah,
just is, you know, like we kind of said he's like kind of
I
like the
agree.
level-headed guy or like the only guy with sense in the movie. Um and it's just like we I think we already understand that like what's like he's because Coleman Domingo as Joe Jackson, and like the Joe Jackson character is the most like simplified, like bad kind of dad. Where like I said, this movie could be made by AI. I kind of believe that with this character. Like it's so
Hmm.
ridiculous and cartoonish. Like he's literally a cartoon character. Just just like
He's Captain Hook.
yeah. Where I don't know, because I'm just like, these people have to have so much nuance and like interesting detail about them in real life. Like, why is
Yeah.
Joe Jackson acting like this way? Like, we don't know. It doesn't touch on that 1%. You know, he's a incredible. He's so one dimensional that every scene just feels like so fucking stupid. Like I can't, like
Yeah.
every moment that's not a performance is like horrible movie.
Yeah.
Like there's no redemption. And I mean, I gave this movie 1 star. That 1 star is from the music, because I do enjoy the music. um but again, like I kind of think it also kind of
So
pisses me off because it's cheap. I think it's super cheap to do that.
so my question for you, like I'm trying to visualize like your face during the theater, right?
Yeah.
Were like when the performances are going on, like are you smiling, like having a good time? Or are you just like thinking in the back of your mind that like all of this is like a facade to get people to like it and you're not enjoying it? Or are you like actually enjoying it, but then in like the retrospect you don't like it? You know
No,
what I
it
mean?
it, it would be both those things at the same time, but I'm also like, I don't know, I'm not like having the best time. I mean, a few of them I like more, but I like, so yes, to answer your question, both. Like on one hand, I'm like, I like this song, and on the other, I'm like, this is cheap. Yeah, it's a facade. And what I think, like, and I get really bored of it. Like, I got so bored of this movie. I think it like felt really long, even though on like a structural level, I think it would work from adding runtime, which we'll get into at like the end. But this movie is really just like very simple, like, you know, Michael Jackson story, whatever. Like his dad telling him to do something and he wants to do his own thing. Performance. Go back, simple conflict, performance. Go back, simple conflict, performance. Go back, Michael Jackson's song over simple conflict, performance. Like that's it. That's the whole movie. Like there's zero nuance in any of what's going on, and then there's a performance imitating a thing Michael Jackson already did. You know, so I like, these performances kept going. There's so many where I just got so like, I'm kind of sick of it, and I'm like, dude, I'll just go home and watch Michael Jackson videos on YouTube, and it's better. Um,
Yeah.
because this movie also is kind of edited really kind of annoyingly, and it looks ugly. It's not like the ugliest looking movie, like, but it's definitely, looks like slop. Like there's nothing
Yeah.
interesting. Um, so I did get kind of bored of it. Like I got kind of sick of it.
Yeah. I think one major thing that I would have liked to see more was like Michael, like obviously, like Michael outside of like the caricature that we see, and then also like the thing at home. I'd like to see like his interactions with like other people, because there's
Yeah, he goes in the
like
toy store.
he was married a couple times, right? Like I want to see like some added
Mm,
romance. I also don't know when that comes in. Like
mm-hmm.
see him meet a
Me
girl, like
neither.
that's a cool thing you could add. Um,
I
or just
can't
like
see this.
it seems like he has the movie almost makes it seem like he has no interest in regular life, which I just can't believe at all.
Mm,
Like I can't believe that he has no interest in human connection with like adults. Like it shows a lot like him being interested in like the lives of these kids and like helping them, but like there's no way that's his entire there's no way that's his entire life. Like he has to have like some
sure.
external thing. Like he has to have gotten drunk, right? With
Right.
someone.
Yeah. No, I think
There's
I
no way he
definitely.
There's no way he's just a fucking child as an adult. Like
But
he
that's how
literally is
this
a
movie
child as an
wants him
adult.
to, like they only want him to be this innocent child that has like that's not a real like adult. He's just kind of like this simple little innocent thing that things are happening to, and I'm like there's just no way there he has
Yeah.
probably so much complexities to him that at least you can explore. You don't have, this movie doesn't have to like, you know, portray. I don't know. I think
It doesn't have to, it doesn't have to portray him bad because also I will say like all the
yeah,
controversy over Michael is like nothing's like stayed on like quote unquote proven or like no one like knows for sure. It's all just like there's talks of it and there's controversy. People don't like him just because there's talks of it, you know? Like I'm the believer that like Michael's innocent, right? Like that's just like kind of the thing I've always gone with just because of certain ways that he acts in certain interviews and uh the kind of person that I believe him to be, right? I do believe him to be like a really sweet person and he cares for humans and he cares about unity through music and art and all that stuff, right? I think there is some weird things that he does that makes it where the controversy like
yeah.
I
Like,
understand why there's controversy because he does some weird stuff and it's noticeable in the movie where he's just
you're like,
like
are they gonna?
he's just like he's so into these kids thing. I'm like, this just
I
like
know it's not
screams
right. Like
pedophile.
even if he didn't, which I don't really know about it. I have heard there's like some credible testimony, but I really have not looked into it. But like I know it's he said for a fact like he sleeps with kids in his bed, and like
That's weird,
that's
right?
like that's crossing a line. But do you think they'll show that? Like, you know what I
Hell
mean?
no. They would not do that. I don't think they're gonna do that because I think a major thing is like his like you said, his family are is
Yeah,
executive producing
but
the
he
movie.
admitted it. Like
I
Michael
mean, yeah, he
Jackson
admitted
was
it.
very open
But
about
like
it and said he was proud of it.
it does like it doesn't matter if like he said it and proud of it because if you put it into a movie, it makes it look weird,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Because
but
like it doesn't because like I don't know. Like it's going to be really interesting to see how honest they are in the second movie. I understand
yeah.
they can't do the whole 1983 thing. Like there's laws against that with like their clause with like the contract with the family that like came out about it.
What is it?
So
What's the
they
1983
can't
thing?
do it. So in 1983 there's like um this guy who made an allegation against Michael Jackson and it basically got like they they gave the Michael Jackson like gave them money, right, to like just like shut up about it or whatever, right? That might not be the best way to put it because that makes him seem guilty, right?
Hmm.
But then it's like in the contract that was signed, it's this is actually really funny. I don't know. They're really thinking about this contract. In the contract, the family forced Michael to sign and like his whole estate that they can't portray that family in any movie ever. Like it's like they can't do it, which is really interesting that this family thought about this because they know how big Michael is, and they're like,
Mm,
he's probably gonna make a movie one day. I don't want to be portrayed. Let's put that in the contract that we can't be portrayed, right?
interesting.
And this is like years and years ago, right?
Yeah.
This is like more than 40 years ago. So it's like they literally can't tell that story, which is why they changed the ending to happen
Mm,
at the beginning of the bad thing. So that's why this movie, I hate when people are talking like, where's the controversy? They're not being honest about Michael. Sure, they're not showing stuff, but they're not hiding anything either because that stuff wasn't even out yet by the time the movie ends. What we really got to be thinking about is the second movie.
yeah, but I think
So
there's still a weird thing in this movie where it's showing him with the kids and it's pointing out Neverland and it's like making these it's creating this kind of foundation for something to happen, and then the movie ends on a performance. Like there's a lot, and even the Joe Jackson stuff doesn't, I don't feel really comes to a conclusion. I don't really feel anything in the movie kind of like comes full circle. The movie just kind of ends, and like yeah, it'll continue, but I hate when like I just hate that shit when that happens in a movie,
yeah,
because at the end of the day, like you can have a part two, but on some level it should work as like a standalone, kind of feel emotionally resolved in some way. I think it's a
I
big
think that's
failure.
I think that's just has to do with that 1983 thing because that was originally the ending in the script,
So just
and then
because
they
they
just
had to
couldn't do it.
change it like last minute, they couldn't have
Yeah,
an ending.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I guess their idea of an ending would be like the thing he was saying to at the concert. He's like, "This is our last concert." I think like that's their ending thing. I think the bad performance doesn't really count as an ending because it just kind of feels like an encore to me. You know what I
right.
mean?
It's kind of
Like
like they're
it just
just
feels
throwing
like an encore.
performances together.
Yeah,
It's like
there's like
okay,
three performances at the end.
yeah,
I'm like, this is
it's just a
great.
concert. Right.
I honestly wish this movie was like just performances. Like it would be just
It would be
cool
a better
to see.
movie. It would be a
I
better movie.
agree because I think Jafar Jackson would just it would just be fun to see
Yeah.
him do all these
It kind of
performances.
sucks because I think there's a version where like Jafar Jackson is in a real movie, a real Michael Jackson movie. You know what I mean?
I know
Or like there's
his
some
talent kind of got wasted.
because
Yeah,
there's so many like you know like questions about Michael Jackson. And like if this movie could portray things and like, kind of like explore those things with some nuance a little bit, like not even answering or making like, showing us who he is, which is actually what this movie is doing is like, like kind of giving answers about things. Like it's very much telling you what to think. Um I think like there's a world where Jafar Jackson is just in a movie with like some ambiguity that would be kind of
I think
great.
he's good. I think he's a good. I think he's good enough in this role to show that he could do some ambiguity stuff, like do some really deep stuff, do some really sad stuff. Um, so I do
Yeah,
think his talent's wasted. I'm also thinking I always come with movies in the opinion as a screenwriter since I am a screenwriter. And I wonder how involved everyone is on the script because John Logan wrote the script. I'm looking at him now. He wrote Gladiator, Skyfall,
right. Yes.
Rango, Alien Covenant, all that stuff. And I'm wondering like how much like what is he basing this off of? Like who is he
Mm,
talking to? Like is he talking to the family to get some stuff or is he like he knows who Michael Jackson is and is writing a script? Because that's what it comes off as. Like it doesn't seem like he knows. Like you're talking about, we want the ambiguity stuff. Does the writer even know the ambiguity stuff? Like that could be the problem from day one. Because I always think like like a script can make a movie, and it's the director's job to make the script either better or worse, right? Or what it is. And it's like Antoine Fuqua just dealt with the script. The script he had to do, right? It's not like Fuqua's like writing this, or I just wonder the impact the family had on this, like because it's a really I wrote in my review, I think it's a pretty picture painted with ugly images. Like I think that's what this movie boils down to. They're painting a really pretty picture of Michael with like ugly cinematography. And
yeah.
so I don't know. I think, and also like I'm looking at the cinematographer.
Yeah. It's a
This
terrible.
makes so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Into the Woods, Green Lantern. He did
Yeah.
Collateral though. Like his one good movie is Collateral,
Interesting.
which is so strange.
Damn.
Collateral is like
Power of Michael.
what it that's like his magnum opus, bro.
Yeah. Actually, like that guy really peaked. I wonder how much of that is
Collateral.
really him.
Most Michael Mann probably.
But yeah,
But
that's
I
interesting.
have to boil this movie down to like the reason I'm not giving it a 1 star. The the I I think I was planning on like really going back and forth with you about like disagreeing with you, but I can't because I agree with everything you're saying. You know, I think it just boils down to like my 2.5 star. So if you don't know, I gave this movie 2.5 stars. I think it just goes down to like I enjoyed my time in the theater. Like I went to the theater and I was kicking my feet and I was smiling and I wanted to fucking dance the whole time. I
Yeah.
wanted to get out of my seat and start like moonwalking and like fucking
Hey,
dancing
some
with it. I
people
wish like
are.
I would watch this movie standing up probably. Like I would watch this
It's
movie standing
almost
up.
a concert movie.
I would grind it out. And I think and also just like with that, like that stuff's like so entertaining where you just and the other stuff's just so it's just slop, right? To where like I don't get bored, right? It's like the same connection I have with like crappy rom-coms, right? Like I can sit through them and like I'm never bored, but there's nothing there. That's just like kind of my opinion of the movie, where it's just like, okay, I had a good time in the theaters, which is why I say on a rewatch, this movie's gonna go down a lot, I think, because especially if I don't see it in the theaters, right? It's just like
Yeah, you can't
I'll
watch it
see
at
through
home.
I'll see
It's
through the
strange.
bullshit of it the second time, and I'll be like, okay, I already saw this before. Like I don't care about the concert stuff as much. But I think the part I liked the most about the movie was inside the concert moments was like the crowd reactions. I think that's when I felt how big Michael Jackson was,
Interesting.
right?
I didn't feel
Oh,
it.
they're really badly shot, but like the idea of like
Right.
these
Like
people
he's a
viewing him
myth.
like a god,
Yeah.
like he's a god. Like there's a moment at the very beginning that made me really happy, like I was grinning ear to ear, was when young Michael was performing with his family at like a fair or whatever,
Mhm.
and like he's singing and he goes down to this girl in a wheelchair
Oh yeah.
and he's like singing to her, and I was like, this is so sweet and cute. Like I just loved it. Like I thought it was like the coolest thing because like this girl probably thinks Michael's like the greatest person ever, right? This great, beautiful voice, and he's singing to her. I was like thinking in her perspective, like, wow, he's singing to me. Like this is probably the greatest day of my life. And it's like a moment like that where it's like super sweet, and then I like all the fainting shit at the end, like when they're all fainting. I wish they did. I don't know. It probably happens in the second movie. Like there's the famous clip of Michael Jackson like jumping up onto stage and just stands there for like 5 minutes and people are like
Oh
passing
yeah.
out.
I've seen that.
He's
Yeah.
just standing there. Like his aura is just unmatched. But
All right.
yeah,
Well,
I agree with everything you say about Michael.
yeah. Well, that's
I think
Michael.
that you basically watch the movie. If you know his music, you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
But I think it's still a good time in the theater, so go watch it. Um,
It's making a lot of money. The
it's making
sequel
a lot of
just got
money.
greenlit, I think,
But
yesterday or something.
I do think the sequel should be called Jackson.
Yeah.
I think that would be
I
the
what
perfect
else?
sequel.
Michael too. Like
Michael two. If it's Michael two, I'm giving it a 1 star. Off the bat, like
yeah.
that's a horrible title. It better be called Michael and then Jackson. I think that's like the only way they
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
it.
I agree.
Please.
All right, well, that's our review of Michael. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Do you like the movie? Comment if you like these kind of uh, episodes on new releases. Yeah, all that. Now we're gonna go into what we watched this week. So, Eli, you want to start?
Yeah. So I watched a shit ton of movies. So
Me too.
lock in with me here, guys. I think I watched 20 movies, so we're gonna try and get through this.
Yowza.
Um, so I started with The Seashell and the Clergyman. By Jermaine Duloc. It's a silent picture with no music. Or no, never mind. It has music. There's no like titles,
Mm,
which is really cool.
yeah.
It's basically an extension, in my opinion, to a man with a movie camera. It's just a very experimental
Mm,
silent picture, and it's great. My coolest fact about this movie actually is so it's directed by a woman. So it's written by a woman and a man, and it premiered at this like festival. And the man who wrote it with her stood up in the theater after the movie finished and yelled at her, "What the fuck did you do to my movie? Like, why'd you ruin my movie?"
oh.
Because there's like no narrative structure whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
and she does some really cool things with the camera, like in silent times. It's like Man with the Movie Camera, and it came out a year before Man with the Movie Camera, which is like even cooler.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's great. It's just fun watching just experimental stuff at that early age in cinema, 1928. They do some really cool shots in this movie that are fucking bizarre. I'm like, how the fuck did they do that? So it's just fun, like dissection film, I think. And then I got invited to an early screening of Hokum. um, by my local Alamo because they know I'm a filmmaker, so they always like let me know and invite me to these early screenings, and I think it's so good. I think Hokum is a really good movie. I think Hokum is the scariest movie that's come out maybe this decade. It's fucking horrifying. And Damien McCarthy is really good at like creating tension with space. Um, like he's building up and he's building up, and I think that's even scarier than the jump scares. I actually sat next to someone who was like squealing at most of these jump scares. Like he was very jumpy, and it was like kind of like rubbing off on me a little bit. Like I could feel
Yeah,
his
that
like body
always
clenching up.
makes you more scared.
Um, and I think if it was just scary, I wouldn't like it because like I'm not a big fan of like, okay, this is just scary and whatever. I actually think it's a really deep movie. Like I think it's tackling some really deep themes about um, depression and suicide, and I think it's I don't know. It's like it's a really sad movie. Adam Scott puts in a fairly good performance. Um, and it like concludes in a really great way that I love. And it's also like very very cinematic. Like it kind of feels like an epic in my opinion. Especially like with the opening scene you're like, "Wait, what the fuck? This is not the movie. Am I in the wrong theater?" Um it's great. I can't wait for you to see it, Luke, cuz you're going to fucking love this movie since you love oddity. And then I watched Suzumi,
I've
uh
seen that.
the Shinkai film. I'm not a big fan of Makoto Shinkai. I think he's a fake. I'm a big anime guy. And like I only like one of Shinkai's films, which is The Garden of Words. His like really short film, and yeah, I'm not a big Your Name guy, and I think this movie's really corny. I I mean I laugh at it, but it's like not in a good way. Like where the chair's like running.
Yeah, I think
It's
I
just
did
like
too.
I'm just like, okay, bro. Like, I really could care less. Like, it just feels like one of those movies. Like, they're dealing with like this outside force that's like making earthquakes happen or whatever, and it just feels like so stupid to me. It's very pretty though. It's gorgeous to look at. So yeah, I didn't have the worst time with that. And then I went on a little bender, and I watched Man of Steel
Oh yeah.
for the first time. So I've never seen Man of Steel. I've always been wanting to watch this movie. I think the intro to this movie is brilliant. Like I love the whole backstory of Superman, how long he deals with it. Any other filmmaker would have like brushed over this. Zack Snyder like actually like dives into the entire political side of what was happening on Krypton and like makes it this huge epic, and I think it looks gorgeous and it's dramatic. It's like its own short film basically. It's really fun. Um, I still came out of it because I just don't like superhero movies that much, and I just kind of came out of it just like whatever, just like I didn't feel any like conflict with Clark Kent as much. I do think it's way prettier than last year's Superman. I think it's a way better movie. I had like really high highs with this one, really low lows, so it ends up being a average movie, which is 3 stars again. And then I watched Batman vs Superman right after that, and I watched the Ultimate Edition. You can find it on HBO Max. Watch the Ultimate Edition. It's really really good. It kind of
Well, are we gonna do that later?
Oh yeah, I'll talk about it later. I just realized. That was the thing I got recommended by Luke, so I'll talk
Yeah,
about that one
yeah.
later. And then right after I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I watched three really long movies in the same
Yeah,
day. I
that's
think I watched like
fucking crazy.
10 hours of Zack Snyder in one day. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Um, I think it's really good. I feel the runtime with the 4 hours for sure.
Yeah.
And there's not like as high highs as Dawn of Justice. So it's just like I came out of it just being like, yeah, whatever, you know. And then I watched Face Off in theaters by John Woo. I think the biggest thing this movie has going for it that I love so much is the concept. Like, I think the concept is so
It's
good,
so fun.
and like it's so fun and entertaining. Um, to me, it reminds me of like a really good concept movie like Back to the Future, right? Back to the Future has a really fun concept that feels camp, right? And I think I have a similar opinion with Face Off, where it just feels really camp, and you're kind of basing the whole movie off the immediate camp, and it just rides that, and it's really good. And the third act is so good. The boat racing scene is so fucking cool, and you're just like feeling it. And John Woo is a really good director. I'm really getting into John Woo. So I can't wait to like watch Hard Boiled and stuff like that.
Yeah, me too.
Um, and then I watched a movie that I've been wanting to watch for a long time because every time I go to like buy a Criterion, I see this movie and I see a lot of filmmakers talk about this in like the Criterion closet. I forget there's one person in the industry like says this is their favorite movie, but I watch With Nail and I. It's like my cup of tea. It's the comedy that I like. It's like that really dark comedy. And it's a directorial debut, and it's also Richard E. Grant and Paul McCann's first film as well, and they're both so good in it, especially Richard E. Grant. His There's stuff that he does in this movie that are just it's just so fun, and they're playing this character. They're playing these characters that are just so bizarre and weird. Like the whole movie feels weird. Like Richard E. Grant, like he doesn't sleep. He only smokes cigarettes. He's always drinking. It's just like this, and they're always like complaining about life. Like that's what the movie is, and this is the dialogue is so good. The accents are like add to that as well. Um, what a good movie! If it's so good. Um, and then I watched The Life of Jesus. I hate this movie.
Who made that?
It feels like Bruno Dumont.
Okay.
Uh, isn't I guarantee you haven't seen anything from him.
Okay.
It's like I don't know, like it's just like first of all, he hires all these guys from France that first of all, it's not a movie about Jesus. It's literally about this guy who's just like dating this girl. I don't know. It's just it's also a really racist movie.
Oh, love
Um
that.
they start like screaming at this Arab guy, and they're just like beating at him, and they're always yelling at him. They like want to kill him and stuff.
My God.
And then like the main character's girlfriend ends up like starting to like the Arab guy, so then they like find the Arab guy and like try and kill him and shit. And then they also like they're like leaving a school assembly, and there's like this girl that's like standing in the hallway, and they're trying to get out, and this girl like kind of catches their attention in their class, and then they rape her right there in the classroom. Like
My God.
and and then the girlfriend brings it up like, hey man, hey boyfriend, that wasn't really cool. And she goes, he's like, we were just having fun. And that's all good and fine if there's like a big character arc that like ruins the main characters,
Right.
but there isn't.
Right. Of course there's
They
not.
get no consequence. He gets grounded for raping this girl.
Oh my God.
It's a really bad movie. It's also just really boring. It feels like there's nothing going on, and it's like horribly shot. And the main actor who plays the guy is maybe the worst actor I've ever seen in my life. He's horrible. He's horrible. And then I watched Love and Other Drugs. Need a little pick me up after that bullshit movie. Anne Hathaway and Jake Gyllenhaal. It's really explicit. I was not expecting it to be
Yeah.
that explicit.
That's like the
Um,
only thing I remember.
yeah, it's like a lot of
They're
sex
just
and stuff like
naked the
that.
whole movie, pretty much.
Yeah,
Beautiful
I
people.
think it's I like Jake Gyllenhaal's like charisma in the movie. He's kind of like he's like a man whore basically. Like he gets whatever girl he wants and he charms them. I just think it's a very average rom com, right? It's just like hitting all the beats. every other rom com does. It's a good time. There's some romantic stuff in it that's really sad. Um, yeah, and I did that in preparation for Mother Mary, which I watched in theaters. We don't know if I don't know how much we're gonna talk about it, but I think it's all right. I think it's well shot. I just not didn't really get me excited at any point. It's very similar to for me to like Vox Lux by Brady Corbet. I just prefer Vox Lux's ending. And then I watched Michael, and then I watched Michael Jackson's Thriller right after that, the music video, the 14-minute short film, I guess.
Great music
It's my
video.
first time seeing it. Um, really, really good. I like all of the John Landis, obviously, like he's a prominent horror director. Uh, it's like cool to see like a music video be this like intentional, like that early on. It kind of like built the music video, and you're seeing this a lot like now, where they're like adding plot to music videos
Yeah,
now.
definitely.
It's like story. Like I just saw like Ella Langley's "Choosing Texas" music video. It's kind of like the same thing, right? It's all on the backbone of Michael Jackson.
Yeah, true.
Um, and then I was just on a Michael Jackson stint, so the same night as Michael, I watched The Wiz.
Right, I saw that. That's awesome. I want to watch
Yeah,
that.
I saw the Wiz because I saw Michael Jackson plays a scarecrow. Um, it's a really fun time. I'm not gonna lie, the sets are amazing. It just feels like the same movie as Wizard of Oz. I'm not like the biggest Wizard of Oz fan, but I think the Wiz like does great things. It just doesn't add anything new. You know, it's like not doing anything new. It's just like that. There's more musical. There's like a lot of musical numbers, which like extends the runtime, and you feel the runtime. It almost feels like nothing is happening within the 2 hours and 15 minutes. But there's a song towards the end that I really liked with the Wicked Witch of the West. She sings this really good song. It's like a sweatshop. She like rules this sweatshop. It's also like a really goofy ass movie. There's a moment with when Dorothy and her companions walk into the Emerald City, and there's all these people like dancing, and the Wiz, played by Richard Pryor, is like over the megaphone, and they're all dancing in green, and he goes, "Hold up, hold up, hold up, stop right there. The color green is out. It's finished. The color now is gold." And there's like a big gold like light that shines, and then it cuts down to all the dancers, and now they're all dressed in gold, and they do a whole nother musical number with gold. And then he's like, "Hold up, hold up, hold up. I'm not feeling gold. The color now is red." And they do another musical number with red. And then after the whole sequence, they all notice that uh, Dorothy's there, and the Wiz is like, "Bring me the girl with the silver slippers," right? And she starts walking through, and she's like a celebrity, and there's all these people in the crowd. They're like, "Go home with me tonight, girl!" Like they're like shouting, they're like
Oh my
catcalling her.
god.
Like,
Catcalling.
go out with me. Like it's so fucking
Richard
hilarious. There's
Pryor
so much.
is incredible casting.
Yeah, it's such a fun movie. And then yesterday I watched Erupja in theaters. I saw a live Q&A with the director Pete O's. Um, I was even able to like ask him a question because I was sitting front row, and I was able to have a cool intimate conversation like between him. I was cool that he answered the question by like only addressing me. It's the movie itself, like I think the like sound design is really poor and stuff. Like I didn't have much fun watching the movie. I think it's fine. Um, and then like the Q&A started, and I heard what how Pete O's like makes films, and it was like it made me like the movie a little bit more and like appreciate it because his philosophy, if you don't know who O's is, his philosophy is he just wants to have fun making movies. He doesn't care about plot or theme or anything like that, and he just gets a bunch of friends that he like likes, right? Like actors and crew and whatever. And he just goes out and shoots for 7 days, and whatever happens, happens. Um, and it's really cool. Like he just has fun doing that, right? And he's like, "Yeah, I felt sufficient. I had fun making a film, and I can sleep at night." and then he talked about how he met Charlie XCX. He was just at a bar in New York, and she walked in, and he like went up to her and was like, "Hey, I'm a filmmaker," and told her his philosophy, and she was like, "I want to be in your movie. I want to be in your next movie." And he goes, "Okay."
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So everything just happens like
I
very
gotta try
lenient.
that.
Like he's not, he doesn't, he has no budget or whatever. He fits his entire gear in 2 bags, which is so crazy. He just walks around, just films whatever. And so my question to him, I was like, you remind me a lot of Hong Sang-soo. Um, and he like started like I was like, you remind me of, and then he started smiling and nodding, like he knew what I was gonna say.
That's funny.
And I said Hong Sang Soo, and he's like, yep, yep. He's a big inspiration. And he's like, he's obviously better than me, but I'll get there.
That's
It
funny.
was cool because like a lot of people don't know who that is, and it's cool to know that a movie director actually knows who Hong Sang Soo is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a cool, and I was like, I'm getting into him, and so I'm gonna check out more of O's movies. I'm interested with like the new information I have after the Q&A to like do all this stuff. Yeah, it's like a fun experience to like be at a movie and you're watching it with the director, like he's in the room watching it with you. It's like kind of different vibe. Kind of feels like a festival almost. But yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Cool. All right. I I watched a good amount. Um, so Criterion has a had a Jacques Tourneur. I don't know how to say his last name. But they had like 3 noirs by Jacques Tourneur, and so I watched them pretty much like within like 24 hours, 26 hours probably, which was really cool. Like I started with Out of the Past, which is kind of incredible. Uh, it's basically kind of this guy who's trying to just work in a gas station in this small town, and has a new girl that he wants to marry and settle down with, and then his kind of past of like crime kind of catches up to him, and then he has to kind of deal with that, and has a really great Jane Greer performance, and it stars Robert Mitchum, who's just kind of has top tier screen presence. And Kirk Douglas also, like a young Kirk Douglas, is also a pretty big role. Um,
The movie of butt chins, bro.
Seriously, like there's like they're both on screen with their butt chins, and it's like holy shit, bro.
Where did the butt chin go in film?
I know. Like I can't think
We
of
need more
anyone.
of that.
I guess does Jacob Elordi have one?
Maybe a little bit.
That's a butt chin, or like
Yeah.
yeah. Then I watched Berlin Express, which was my least favorite of the three. Still pretty cool. Like I really loved the ending. That kind of like the characters aren't very interesting. They're kind of the coolest kind of part of it is it's like a bunch of different guys that are from like a bunch of different countries in the world, and they're kind of all like on a train together, and like there's kind of or like have to be like in the same situations together. And so there's like some cool stuff there. um I think that's an interesting kind of concept. Then I watched Nightfall, which was really good. Kind of about like basically like this kind of innocent guy just gets like pulled up on by these two like evil like kind of criminals, and like they hold him at gunpoint and are about to kill him, and then but he escapes, and then he's just kind of constantly on the run from these two guys who are trying to hunt him. um, and he meets Anne Bancroft, a young Anne Bancroft, who's really good in it, and yeah, it's a fun kind of thriller. Then I watched Mother Mary in theaters. Might talk about this more. We'll see. I think this is a really incredible movie. I really loved it. I think it's so. I think I'm just a David. Like I'm really a fan of David Lowery. Um, I think the
Maybe that's our difference because I don't like David Lowery.
maybe I yeah
So,
I which is like I think he's so good. Um, like I think the script is really strong, and like Anne Hathaway and Michaela Cole are like phenomenal as like the leads, and I think the movie kind of explores like the artist and the muse relationship in like a really interesting way that I really haven't seen done before, and it also there's some really fascinating ambiguity and kind of a big part of the movie that maybe isn't understandable. Not that it's like totally vapid, like there's a lot there, but the movie kind of mentions these things that are like these things that are inexplainable or like unable to articulate into words, as like with relationships or other things. Um, and that's interesting, and there's some cool it uses like some cool surrealism, kind of gets starts really minimalist and then gets like pretty maximalist towards the end. It's and it
it
works.
kind of like does like some stage play direction type stuff too. You would like the Christophers because the Christophers is a
Right.
lot of Michaela Cole and
Yeah.
she's good and it's about an artist and his muse. So to me, it felt like the same movie almost, except Christopher's is
Interesting.
just better script.
um then I watched A Man There Was, uh for your recommendation. Then I watched movie 43. Just woke up.
L half star, bro.
Yeah, what do you have this at? Dude,
Two and a half.
I honestly kind of wanted to be. This is so crazy. Maybe I'll talk about. I was just gonna like kind of brush over it. It's like it might be the worst movie ever made. Like it straight up, and I was ready to be like there's one bit in it. Basically it's like these like annoying teenagers are looking through like the dark web for this made up movie 43 that might be real. And that is like a storyline that continues throughout that is so annoying and boring and stupid. And then but that's just like a gateway to kind of be an anthology of different like SNL bits kind of thing. And there's one that's funny where like Jason Sudeikis is Batman, and Justin Long is Robin, and they're like dating. Like that one's not bad. It's not
No,
bad.
bro. So the reason I have this at a two and a half, so I watched this at a sleepover with a bunch of friends after like a game, like a high school game. We went over to my friends and we watched this. We were dying laughing the entire time. It's like one of the
Are you
funniest movies to me.
serious,
It's so hilarious.
dude?
The ball sack on the chin, fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's
The the funniest one to me is the where they're doing like they're like daring each other to do stuff, and he dares him to uh to blow out a blind kid's candles,
oh
and I
yeah.
was
See, I like,
I could not stop
but
laughing.
see that
It's
one
just
I
like
like that one, and
hilarious.
then it just turns into like this super racist ending, and then it's just like it's like super weird, like it's offensive and not funny in a bad way with a lot like the funniest thing in the movie, like as like not actually funny but like it's funny that this is real, is it kind of ends in like credits of like, oh, who wrote and directed each bit, and then there's like a James Gunn part, and it's like, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't watch that one, like like did I just forget it? Like what the hell? And then the credits end, and then it starts playing the James Gunn one as like an encore kind of thing, and it is the worst, most unfunny, weird, like bestiality joke thing. Like the whole every bit is like, oh, what's like a weird, like, okay, it's like, oh, ball sack on the chin, like, oh, that's funny, and it's like that's it for like 10 minutes, and you just like there's no other joke, like it's just like that's the bit, and they're all and there's
Yeah.
no like every bit feels like a first draft like weird idea, and then that's it, and they put it.
I love it. I love it so
I
much. It's
it's
so
so
fun.
boring too. Like it's so like I thought at least I'd have like a good time where I could just like watch it and turn my brain off, but absolutely not. I wanted it to end. It goes into a part where like the storyline takes off and there's like a Terminator apocalypse thing. Yeah, I wanted to kill myself. But
Such a goofy movie. I fucking love
I
it.
mean it's movie 43. I can't like, it is what it is. Then I want quick turn around here. I watched
Yep.
Alexander Nevsky.
I'm
Um,
jealous. I wanted to watch this for so long.
yeah, it's really great. It's really it's so. It's actually, this is a kind of, to bring it back to Michael. There is kind of a. It's not ambiguous at all, in kind of the same way, but it uses that, um, and it makes it really compelling because it's like a propaganda movie, to get kind of the Russians to fight Germany in World War II. And it's like very, very clearly about that. And because of that, I think it's so interesting. Um, like the Germans are literally the bad guys, but it takes place, I think, in like the 13th century, something like that. Right. So not modern in that sense. But it's like the Germans are the enemies, and like the Russians need to band together and like fight, and it's like crazy. And then there's some insane battle sequences, like the battle on the ice. It's just, I'm watching it and I'm just like, oh wow, I see like every action movie, like in this. It's a very long sequence. Um, but yeah, I mean, I was just thinking of like, oh wow, like every movie came from this,
Yeah.
and like with a movie with like troops or an army. Um, and I mean, it's Eisenstein, so it's really well shot. Um, yeah, great movie. Um, then I watched, then I watched The Phantom of the Opera last night. Um, from 1925, the silent movie. It was really conflicting for me because I was having like a pretty good time, and there's some just beautiful like imagery of like the opera house. There's some really great like wide shots of that, and some really good, um there's some really like beautiful moments and like really cool images. And there's a very famous like mask reveal of the Phantom that's like pretty scary and kind of like, almost, it's kind of like a jump scare. That's really cool, like really really good. But I'm just kind of not that interested in a lot of the other stuff like going on, so
Mm.
that kind of sucked. But I was also pretty tired, so I don't know. And then this morning I watched The Jazz Singer. Um, Famously like the first movie to have, like sync sound talking. Um, and yeah, this movie's terrible. I mean,
Wait, is this the movie that they portray in Babylon?
I don't think so. I don't know. I need to go. I don't remember. I mean, it's in Bamboozled's final montage because it famously like ends with.
I think it is in Babylon. I
It
think
might
this
be.
is the
It's
movie
definitely
that's
like a
in Babylon.
very important. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like oh, sound started with this, and I mean that's the coolest part of it is like it'll go from kind of like silent film title cards into like, them just having a conversation, and it's kind of like holy shit, they can like talk, you know. It's like kind of cool like that. But yeah, I don't know, it's really boring, it's really kind of ugly. I don't like the performance from Al Jolson. He just gives me the creeps. And then he just goes into blackface at the end. And it's
Oh,
like, I mean, I was just trying to like, I was even thinking like, yeah, the black, I mean, it's like horrible. Like the ending, yeah, it's obviously you watch, it's disgusting, it's horrible. And then but even without that, the movie fucking sucks. Like genuinely, it's kind of about him as like, kind of battling between wanting to follow his dream and become a singer and like sticking to like the traditions of his family and his religion. He's like a Jewish man, and the movie kind of ends with him choosing the traditional route and like sticking with his like family and his like religion. And I mean, it really seems like the wrong answer in like the movie, like because there's like no reason for him to do it. Like there's,
yeah.
it's just kind of like, why are you, it's really stupid. Like I was just like pissed off, and then it's like, oh, but he's like fine after, he still would be successful, but like in the climax he chooses like, um something he definitely should not have chosen. And then he does blackface and like sings in blackface, and that, yeah, so I guess after like this he makes that dumb choice, it then like cuts to him, oh, he's still successful, and then he's singing in blackface to his mom in the crowd. And it's like, it's really, yeah, it's
Oh boy.
rivals Michael as the worst movie I saw this week.
Um. Okay, so now I can actually talk about Batman vs Superman. The fucking it looks so good. First of all, the movie looks so good.
Yeah, I agree.
There's there's some fucking shots in here that made me shiver. There's a specific shot. I don't know if you remember this, but there's like a climax scene at the end of the film, and Batman like swings onto the sidewall, and he like holds onto it, and it's literally he's holding onto it for a second, and in that second a lightning bolt strikes, and he's in that Batman pose, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good, and it kind of very different to Justice League and Man of Steel. I think it's kind of singular in this way, where it has this really cool thing going on where it's almost like a noir thriller to me. That's like kind of the way it's built out. Like there's this really cool shit and the dynamics are so cool. There's a scene where they go to Lex Luthor's like party,
Yeah,
right? And it kind of feels like this surreal ass thing where it's like you got Superman there, you got Batman there, and then like Wonder Woman is like this sexy woman that like Ben Affleck is like interested in. Right? He's like kind of distracted with his conversation and goes, "Sorry, sorry, pretty woman, pretty woman." But then also you have like the power dynamic of like Superman being able to hear the intercom of Batman, like getting instructions on where to go to get the information from Lex Luthor, and then Wonder Woman takes it. It's like really cool like dynamics where they're like you can see them as superheroes, but they don't have their capes on and they're being secretive about it. And then it's just so cool. And then Lex Luthor is like a really deep character here. He's talking about this picture, this painting on his wall, right? And it's a picture of like the end times, right? You have the angels on top and you got the demons on the bottom. And he does this really cool monologue thing, and he ends it by saying, like, I think I think the picture's upside down. And it's so cool. And then like at the end of the movie when Lex Luthor's taken, you can see that the picture was flipped upside down to where the devil is on top and the angels are on the bottom. Lex Luthor has this
yeah.
really cool charisma to him. He's like really quirky
Do you
and
think he has
cool, and
charisma?
yeah, he had or not charisma. It's like
I
he has
mean,
like this
I don't
quirky
disagree.
he has this quirky charm. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
it's,
he talks himself into these like he talks himself into like situations that benefit him, which is like really cool. And he's also a villain that seems to have like the upper hand. Like he knew all along that Clark Kent was Superman and uh Bruce Wayne was Batman. Like you look back at the scene. He's like, look at that, Clark Kent meets Bruce
Right.
Wayne,
Yeah.
like some strange shit. And he also like uses his money well to get what he wants with like the government, right? Talking to Holly Hunter, and he like gets his hands on this technology by his money, and he has like this sinister look to him where they're like bringing him the body of the alien, and he's like kind of doing this. He's like smiling, and he's like kind of like, "Yep, bring it to me. I'm getting what I want." It's
Right.
like really cool. I just love it, bro. Like it's one of those. It's I think it's a really rare superhero movie. This
Absolutely.
is like
Like the
this is
rarest.
like this is like a movie that it it actually feels a lot like Dark Knight, like in the way that it's rare. But I actually think I'm actually looking back, and I think it's doing more interesting things than The Dark Knight. So I'm actually interested to rewatch The Dark Knight because I think Batman vs Superman is really close to a 4 star. I think on a rewatch, like just a solo rewatch, it's really cool. I also have to talk about the opening sequence, which is really important. I'm glad I watched Man of Steel. You were low key crazy for me
Wait,
to
what
tell me I could watch it
happens?
by myself. It shows the ending scene of Man of Steel, but from the ground, where the Man of like it's when um, Superman is fighting. I forget Michael Shannon's character's
Right.
name, but
Zod.
the Azad, yeah, Zod. They're fighting, right? And in the first movie, you're in their perspective, and they're destroying all that shit, right? I remember I was talking to you about like how they were just destroying shit, and it's like kind of crazy. And you can see it from the perspective of the ground and Bruce Wayne, and you can see him like looking up, and you can see them flying. It's like the same shit that happened at the end of the last movie, and like the destruction that's happening down on the ground. I'm like, this is so cool.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I.
It's what sets up the conflict between like why Batman hates
Yeah.
Superman,
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. So the thing
and it
is just because I don't totally remember Man of Steel, and I went into like I watched Batman v Superman, um, almost feeling like I probably should have rewatched it, but I knew enough about it probably where I didn't like I knew that it was very destructive, like so it didn't,
yeah, yeah,
you know what I mean? But yeah, my
yeah.
bad. I'm glad you did.
No, yeah, I'm glad I watched the movie because it adds a great tension of like the differences in perspective, right? Like there's different, and this is what makes the trilogy so great. Like I think I count it as a trilogy. It feels like a trilogy to me. Like I watched them all in the same day.
Yeah,
Um, and I think I don't know, Dawn of Justice is so good. Like, and I think everyone is really great in their roles. I think it's perfectly cast. I'm a Ben Affleck lover now as
me too.
Batman.
Me too.
I think I
It's
think he's a
sad
great Batman.
that he didn't get
I
a
I think
Batman movie, but
I think he's really good in the way he's very different than Christian Bale and Robert Pattinson. But I think he has like this weird element to him that is like he's more emotional, right? Like he has like this emotional backing to
yeah.
him that the
Well,
other two Batmans don't have
his
very
character
much.
is kind of more complex. Like I think
I
his
agree. I
character
agree.
just
He's
is
way more
super
complex.
interesting, where like none of the other ones go into it
I almost
in that way.
This is what why I like Batman vs Superman because there's the way that he goes about his powers is so different. Like he's almost like he's playing angry, like he's
Yeah,
playing
he's
God.
super angry.
There's the scene where like these people are caged in, right? And the cops are coming in and they're like trying to get these people out of the cage and they're like, "No, I want to stay in this cage. Go upstairs." He's upstairs and they go up there and Batman's just in the fucking corner.
Yeah,
He's just he's just in the corner and he's hella angry and he scars all these people with his Batman logo. And there's a scene later where this guy's getting acquitted from the jail and he goes, "Nah, I don't want to go out. People with this are like there's a target on my back with this scar on me now, right?" And he's almost like presented as a villain, like Batman. And I think that's also a great correlation to like Batman doesn't like Superman because of all the destruction. He's like a god figure, right? And Superman doesn't like Batman for his methods of like the method of which he's doing it because it's justice, right? They're talking about justice of like, is this real justice? They mentioned that Batman is uh, the the prosecutor and the executioner, right? Like the whatever person he's touching, it doesn't matter what the system is, right? He's allowing these people to die because even if they're criminals, which is also like a moral dilemma, right? Like, do these criminals deserve to die? There's a scene where a guy gets literally killed in the prison for having a Batman thing on him, right? And it's like really interesting dynamic there, and it's so fun and it's so well shot, and the battle sequences are like going ham.
Yeah,
Zack
they're
Snyder's
good
like going
action.
crazy, and it's like, to me it feels like a great like a comic book movie, because like there's moments in it, like I said, with like the Batman pose with the lightning, like he's not like lingering on that for so long. It's like just an element that's like in the sequence, and it's like, oh, this is so cool. like if it would be corny or cringe if he's like if it feels set up to be that way, right? But to me, it just feels like part of the flow of his action. Like Batman's literally swinging onto a thing. That's how he
Mhm.
would stand in that sequence, and a lightning bolt strikes, and he's going. It would be different if he like Batman's like standing on top of a building and he's like going like that, and then like lightning strikes. Also, Lois Lane is like really. I love Amy Adams as
Mhm.
Lois Lane. Like she's also really deep. Like to me, this is like how you make a superhero movie with a really dangerous villain. The villain is very dangerous. Um,
Yeah, and like totally changed from the comics. Like he's super different. Um, just personality
I also
wise.
like how he has hair for most of the movie, and then he gets arrested, and then he gets his
Mm.
hair taken out, and then there's like some really creepy imagery with Jesse Eisenberg in
Yeah,
like this
I like
puddle.
Jesse
He like
Eisenberg. I don't
turns
know.
around and there's like flickering lights, and you're like, this guy's doing like low key demonic shit.
Yeah,
Like he's low key like a demon. I also like the way you meet Lex Luthor. He's like playing basketball in his facility. He's like playing basketball, and then he's like, "Yo, Lux," and he like comes over to this. Hey guys, hey guys. It's like it's like really cool. Um, yeah, it's a really good movie. It's like It's really sad that people. This has a 2.5. What the fuck are we
I know.
doing?
It's
These
like the most
these are
hated comic book movie.
the superhero movies we dislike. Like, what are we
I
doing?
know. It's so crazy.
These are the ones like I'm watching Rebel Moon tomorrow. I'm watching both Rebel Moons. So I'm like on a Zack Snyder like bender, and
Yeah.
then I'm watching the original Justice League in a couple days. Uh, not the Zack Snyder one.
Oh, you
So
are. Okay.
yeah, I was talking to ChatGPT. I was like, which one should I watch first? It's like watch Zack Snyder's first so that you get everything. So it's not like when you if you watch the original first and then you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, you're like, oh, this is what's more. It's better to watch Zack Snyder's like the intended version, and then you go back to like the cut version, and you're like, oh, this is what's missing. It like makes it a more interesting watch. Also, it makes sense like in the concept of the trilogy to do what Zack Snyder wanted. Watching Man of Steel, Ultimate Edition, and then Zack Snyder's. It just makes sense because it like fits the tone more of the trilogy. So I really enjoyed watching those three back to back. They're really long movies, but I don't give a fuck. They're really fun.
Cool.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you suggested that shit. It's a fun ass time.
Yeah. All right. Um, it was a very similar movie that you recommended me. I watched A Man There Was. I was
Like
thinking,
literally the opposite.
like, it literally couldn't be more different. But yeah, I was thinking, like, I think this is like on a recommendation level, my favorite thing you've recommended so far. Um, yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's not the highest rated you've given though, right? You've given
I
something
feel like I
higher,
did.
but
Yeah, like Thelma, I gave 4 stars. I don't know. I
Wash Report also for
Right. Yeah. Just on like a recommendation level, like this is my favorite. I
your cup of tea, eh?
Yeah. I think like I gave it 3.5. I mean, I was like, it was like it's like the highest 3.5. Like you know what I mean? And we're like, I was
Oh,
like,
give it a 4.
I
Fuck
know
you.
I should. I just came from like Mother Mary and like I was on a high. And the only thing is like this movie's so short, and it is like pretty simple. Um, and I was just like, but like not as a bad thing. Like I like how simple it is. Um,
Mhm.
not that it's like totally like one dimensional, but it's just like it's very contained, right? That was like kind of it. Like I don't know. I was just like, it's all feeling. Anyways, all right. It's about like a man, you know, there was, uh, and yeah. So he like needs to feed his family. Like there's like a forced like famine, kind of thing from I'm pretty sure it was like Britain, and then he tries
So
like
they're cutting off the supply of food to the island, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so he's trying to go out and uh get food, and like kind of like they're not letting anyone go, but he's just trying to like sneak around it, and then he kind of like gets around it initially, starts to bring back food, and then is in this like incredible sequence, like chased down by like the like some British officers and like this tiny rowboat, and they're kind of playing like cat and mouse, and it's kind of like fun and thrilling and sad, and they catch him, and then he's just like, please let me go, like I need to feed my kid and my wife are starving, and then they're just like nah, and like like it's like no, let this
Yeah.
guy, like yeah, so then they capture him, kind of put him in prison, and then he comes back and his family's dead, um, and it's very yeah. And then there's a line in the movie that is like, he like he needs to take some time and goes back to his trusty old friend the sea. I love that line. Um, and there's some he's just placing the camera on these boats, and like he's having the boats like just like through these sequences, and there's kind of like these beautiful shots of the like the soldiers and the like and him, and he did Victor, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, like
Solstrom or something. Something like
Solstrom,
that.
is like the actor. He's a great actor, like incredible
Yeah.
actor. He has a great face, and he gives a really great performance. So what's interesting in this movie too, so it kind of ends. Spoiler: it ends with the kind of the British officer coming back, and he basically decides to show love, like decides to forgive him and like choose love over hate. Um,
So good.
it's very sweet. I kind of thought about it, and I don't know. I don't know. Like, I was just kind of like, I don't know. Like, I think he deserves. Like, I wish he kind of got punished. Like, that was like, he killed his wife and kid. I was just like, I don't. It's a little bit like, I don't know. It was a little
Also, like,
strange.
doesn't a lot of time pass in that moment? Like, years have gone by. He's like a little bit older. Like, isn't that the
Yeah,
case?
I mean, years
You
have
know,
gone
like,
by, but he's like hatred's brewing and brewing, and then he like gets to the moment where, he can do something about it, and then he
I think that shows his
changes.
character though. Like, he's like a
No, it
caring
does.
guy. Like just like not using your emotions to go after like what you think you want, and it's like what you need is like not to kill someone,
Yeah,
right? Not to fight violence of violence. Like it's like really sweet, and I love that moment. It's so good.
yeah. I
It's
kind of wish like that. Like I think there could be something about like, because they kind of become friends. Like it feel it's.
yeah,
I was like, I think if this move, if that kind of like, if they like went into that part like another like 30 minutes, that would be interesting. Because then it ends and
yeah.
they're friends, and it's very kind of quick. The movie's like less than an hour. Um, I don't like I it's not like I didn't think while I was watching I was just like, this is very sweet, like I love this guy, but like this guy's, like it does show his character, and it's like it like on a broad scale, right? Like love over hate, it's sweet.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
but then I was just kind of like, dude, I don't know, they kind of deserve some like
Yeah.
like I don't know,
Yeah.
it's interesting. I think I don't know. I just would love this movie to be like longer because it's so good. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
I also think it's cool that he chooses forgiveness because it's like you read the synopsis, it's like a revenge story. Like they almost like, oh, he has to avenge himself after his family's
sure.
death. And it's cool that like he doesn't
Yeah,
go
he
down that
doesn't get
path.
it. Like yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No,
but
yeah,
it's also like he still gets that good ending of like being able to like have comfort in death, which is like the ending is so good to me. Like the picture of his grave
yeah. That's
and
the
he's just
last
sitting there.
image. Is very powerful. It's kind of like
It's
he's died, but his grave is next to his wife and child.
yeah, so good.
Yeah,
It,
it's a
to
great.
me when I watched it, like I also think the music is so good in the movie, and I was just for the ride, bro. Like I mentioned before, this is my favorite silent film. Um, I don't know,
Yeah, that's
it
interesting to
hits
me.
everything for me. It hits everything for me. I think it's like a near perfect movie. It's like like 4 movies away from being a 5 star. It's only a couple movies blocking it, but I don't know. It's so good. Like I'm glad you liked it. I'm excited for you to rewatch it down the line and give it that 4 star it
Yeah,
deserves for sure.
probably. It may like I've been watching some Silence and I mean I've been planning on rewatching Battleship Potemkin again. Um, but that kind of like inspired me to be watching these, and also I'm like I need to watch more of this guy's stuff.
Yeah, Phantom Carriage is something that's on high on my watch list,
Yeah,
and The Wind is good. I think you would like The Wind.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I really like The
but yeah,
Wind.
great movie.
It's really
All right, so
yeah.
recommendations. I know what I'm recommending you.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Um, because it was just it's very easy for me because I know you just got this on Criterion, so I want you to watch Happiness because I think
Okay.
you'll love it. Like I just feel like
Yeah.
it's like something you'll have a good time with.
Cool. Yeah, I just bought Happiness and I'm excited to watch it. It I'm glad you're kind of forcing me to get into it because like I kind of get into a rut where like
Yeah,
there's other stuff I want to watch and I'm like, "Oh, I own this." Like I can
yeah,
wait.
yeah. You can watch that whenever. Yeah, no, I get
Yeah, I can
that.
watch
So
it whenever.
you just need a little
So it's
nudge.
like
There you go.
I have a couple movies I still like I've owned Brazil for like a year.
Hmm.
Like I need to watch Brazil. I'm like, "Oh, fuck." And I don't think I've seen a Terry Gilliam film. So like
Hmm.
I think I'm excited to get into that. So yeah, okay, I'll watch Happiness. I'm excited for that. I'm going to give you.
Uh oh.
I've been so this is a filmmaker I've really been getting into. I think he's becoming one of my favorites. King Vidor. He's becoming one of my favorites. So
Yeah,
I'm going to give you Stella
that's a
Dallas.
that's a big one. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm giving
Cool.
you Stella Dallas. So Stella Dallas to me is a 4.5 star. So it's a really impactful movie, bro. Stella Dallas is insane, and Barbara Steinwick, it's her best performance she's ever put on screen. It is a performance of a century. Like it's crazy what she does, and I think you'll love it. I think it's like really fun, and I wanted to give you another black and white because I've seen you've been watching a lot of black and white shit. And I was like, you know what? It's time for you to fucking watch Stella Dallas because
Yeah.
I know it's high on your watch list. I know it's been on your radar. Because I remember when I watched it, you're like, damn, you watched Stella Dallas. Um, so I was like, yeah, let's get you to watch this. Let's finally get you to. And you gave me
Fair.
Fountainhead like a month
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Um, and I love Fountainhead, so let's hope you like Stella Dallas
Yeah.
as much as I like Fountainhead because King Vidor is like really becoming one of those guys for me. Like I'm watching 1 or 2 movies from him a month now. Um, I love his perspective on like how to make a film and what he's doing, and he brings out the best of performances, and he's also like doing stuff other people didn't do during that time, which solidifies him as like a unique voice in like early cinema days. Um, so yeah, I'm excited for you to watch that. It's a really fun movie.
Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
sad as fuck.
Okay. Great. Love
It's sad
that.
as fuck.
Yeah, very pro King Vidor podcast. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. Um, yeah, hopefully you like the micro review and all that. Um,
Yep.
we'll be back next week talking about something. Maybe
Yep.
Hokum. Maybe we'll see. Maybe
Yeah.
something
Let's see if
else.
you watch Hokum now. I'd love to talk about Hokum
Yeah.
for
All
sure.
right. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. See ya.